Welcome to the Friday Value video. And this week we are going to talk about got sprouts part 2. Last week I mentioned the history of sprouting, and this week I'd like to share. I find it quite interesting, and hopefully you will too. Sprouts really are an ancient form of food, but they appear to have kind of been forgotten. The Chinese have recorded using bean sprouts as early as 3000 BC. They also used herbs for medicine, saying that the sprouted bean could help cure problems like bloating, loss of nerve sensation, muscular cramps, digestive disorders, and weakness of the lungs. The Chinese also recorded using plants in the 16th century for reducing inflammation, as laxatives, for edema and rheumatism, as well as building and toning the body. They used mung beans, adzuki beans, soybeans, wheat, and barley. Now, in the 18th century, when it was found that scurvy was caused by a lack of vitamin C, Captain James Cook and his crew used a specially formulated malt made by cooking sprouted beans at a very low heat for long periods. He never lost a single man to the wasting disease of scurvy. Then, once they found that lemons also prevented scurvy due to their vitamin C content and limes, their concoction was used less. But they found that transporting fresh vegetables or fruits overseas was difficult. And so they put the sprouts to the test against the lemons and the limes. An early study was done where patients took lemons or limes or the sprouts. This is why they used to call them limeys, by the way. And the patients that took the sprouts actually did better, showing a greater rate of improvement. Sprouts could travel and they were less expensive. Now, in addition to vitamin C, sprouts contain plenty of protein. During World War II, a researcher was worried that there would be a shortage of meat and dairy and other protein staples. Now, we know that animal foods are not the only source of protein, but this was back then, and this was as a result of rationing. They were worried there would be a shortage because of the need to ration. So he came up with an alternative food source using sprouted seeds, grains, and beans, especially protein-rich soybeans. They launched a campaign to teach the public how to sprout, and books were published and distributed, but the shortage never came. And by 1945, the use of sprouts were forgotten. In India, in 1938, there were severe crop failures and food shortages. People were dying by the thousands from scurvy and famine. A program was started where each person was given an ounce of dried sprouted grain or chickpeas twice a week. The deaths stopped. This was done for 4 months, and then the program was stopped. Their thought was that the crisis was over and there'd be no more deaths, but within months, people started dying again. So, I want to ask this question: why does any of this matter for you? 6 reasons will be presented in part 3. But in the meantime, please get sprouting to have lifelong well-being.